Today, Fortnite has released the first official update of Chapter 4 Season 3, and in this update, we actually got a ton of stuff. So today, I'll be breaking down all 10 things that got added, changed, and removed in today's update. So without further ado, let's dive into number 1, and this is in the jungle area with the new jungle boss Relik. Now, this guy can be found over at Rumble Ruins, and he's honestly not that hard to defeat. He does have an invisibility cloak, which he will be able to actually drop, which we'll get to in a second, but during the fight it's not too horrible as long as there's not other players fighting against you. But of course, he just got added in today, so there will be tons of people fighting this boss over at Rumble Ruins to get, and this brings us to our second point, his Mythic MK Alpha rifle and Relik's Cloak Gauntlets. Both of these items are mythic, and obviously they each do their own thing. The Mythic MK Alpha assault rifle is the best MK Alpha. Obviously, it's the mythic variant. This thing does 28 damage per shot, and the recoil is incredibly low. I would highly recommend defeating this boss in order to get it, and at least try it out, because this AR is so good. Alongside that, he also drops the Relik's Cloak Gauntlets. Now, if you played all the way back, and I believe it was Chapter 2, Season 6, I want to say, with the Predator season, there was the Predator Gauntlets that allowed you to go technically invisible. It's kind of more of a camouflage into your surroundings, but the Relik's Cloak Gauntlets will allow you to go invisible for 30 seconds. After that, you have a 20-second recharge time on the gauntlets before you can use them again, but they're a very, very fun mythic to use. Thankfully, you can get them from more than just Relik, though, and this brings us to our third point. These standard Cloak Gauntlets are now spawning around the map from chests and floor loot spawns. Now, these things are still mythic, so they're incredibly rare to find, but if you get these standard Cloak Gauntlets, they will give you 20 seconds of invisibility with a 30-second recharge time. So they're just the opposite of Relik's Cloak Gauntlets. Instead of a 30-second invisibility with a 20-second recharge time, these are a 20-second invisibility with a 30-second recharge time. Now, moving on to our fourth item on the list, this is that Shockwave grenades have been added to zero build mode. Now, they are not in the standard build mode, so I don't have any gameplay footage of them, but the Shockwave grenades are back in zero build mode now, which is really, really nice because we definitely need some mobility. Now, Epic, please give us some mobility for build mode because we desperately need it. Now, coming in at number 5, we have the flare gun has been unvaulted in all game modes. Now, this is not only just in the standard loot pool, but it's also now in an augment, which we'll get to in a second, with all of the new augments. One really cool thing to note about the flare gun is you can now cover yourself from being marked by it by covering yourself in mud. As long as you have the mud effect on your character, you cannot be marked by an enemy's flare gun. It's a really, really cool effect, and honestly just a neat little Easter egg that Epic has added in and has finally given mud the ability to actually camouflage your player. Now, coming in at number 6, we have new augments. Now, overall, there are 2 new augments, technically 3 new augments. 2 of them are new, and one of them is an old one that has been unvaulted. Now, the first new one is Mud Warrior. While in mud or covered in it, you'll regenerate health and shield. This augment is incredibly nice because, you know, you're getting health and shield just by being in mud. This will regenerate you back to 150 total health. Now, SMG Extended Mag is the next one that got added. Your SMGs will have increased magazine size. This is by far the best out of the magazine size extenders because we have ones for assault rifles, we don't have one for shotguns, but we have ones for other types of items. But SMGs are the ones that will make the most usage out of this, because when you're in those close quarter fights, you need as many bullets as you can to actually beat your enemy player. So having just a few extra shots in that SMG mag is going to do you wonders in those close range fights. So overall, I would highly recommend picking up this augment. Now, the third augment that has been added into the game is an old one that has just now been unvaulted. This is the Tracker's Armory augment. This will allow you to not only get a flare gun, but also the exotic Shadow Tracker pistol. So this one is just really, really fun because it allows you to not only get that flare gun, but also, of course, the Shadow Tracker pistol, which in my opinion is honestly a really, really nice item. One quick note here is that this season, instead of like old seasons where you had to unlock the new augments, augments. All of the new reality augments will be immediately unlocked into your rotation, so this gets rid of the whole thing of needing to get really lucky in order to get the new augments. Now they will just immediately be able to be obtainable by you in game. Coming in at the next thing at number 7, we have Bryne and Riptide NPCs. Now these guys are just 2 new guys spawning on the map. Honestly, they don't do anything that special, so I'm not going to spend that much time on them. But yes, there are 2 new NPCs on the map. Now next up at number 8, we have super level style variants. Now these have now been added into the game, and you can now go into the battle pass, and once you're past that level 100, you can begin claiming your super style variants, and some of these look amazing. I mean, just from this image, I absolutely adore some of these, and I think overall these are some of the best super styles we've gotten in many seasons. Also, I really just like this season's battle pass skins, so that helps out too. Coming in at number 9, we have all of our competitive things. So basically this means that ranks have been reset. For those who do not know, for ranked modes, the ranks have now been reset. Everybody is back to 0. You will be able to play 1 game and get placed into a rank, and then from there you'll begin to start climbing your ranks again. But with this rank reset, that means that you need to get to certain ranks in order to participate in tournaments. Here's a list of all of the ranks that you need to get to in order to participate in all of the top tournaments this season. So in case you're a competitive player, that's just a little bit of a note for you. Now coming in at our final spot at number 10, this is the new Nike collab that Fortnite is going to be doing very soon. This is going to be a creative map through the new Unreal Engine, and at some point in the future this is going to be getting released. I'm not exactly sure when. They haven't really talked about it that much, but I'll have a video updating you guys more once we actually know more. There are going to be some free items you can get out of this crossover, so make sure to stay tuned to the channel for any sort of challenges or really anything in general that is going to be coming out with the Nike crossover. I'll make sure to keep you guys up to date. But overall, that is everything new that has been added in the version 25.10 update, the first update of Fortnite Chapter 4 Season 3. If you guys did enjoy this video or find it helpful, then please consider leaving a like on it and subscribing to the channel, as that would help me out a ton. I hope you guys all have an amazing day, and I will see you guys in the next one.